2015 is just flying by here at the Solid Signal Podcast. I'm looking at the calendar and it is March 30th as I record this. Finally springtime and finally time, let's hope, for our friends all across the northern half of this country to defrost a little bit. It's something that we are all hoping for very, very much. Last week's podcast was one of the most controversial I've ever recorded, and I got quite a bit of feedback, not all of it good. A few little attacks toward me, and I can take that, a few attacks toward our government, and I'm not here in a position to defend them. But I did decide this week that I would delve a little further into the idea of what the government is letting you do versus not letting you do, and how there's an easy way that you can get around that. You see, I pointed out last week that the FCC rules require that all cell boosters be sold as kits. In other words, that everything that you need will be there. And unfortunately, you can't buy the parts that you need to extend certain things more than you'd want to. And you certainly can't just buy the booster all by yourself. There is, however, a loophole. The loophole is that these things are available to custom installers. If you're going to hire somebody to install your system for you, then that person can go ahead and buy exactly what you need and nothing that you don't. There are some limitations. Certain things like line amplifiers for cellular are still not available because of FCC rules on that sort of thing. And no reputable installer is going to try to repurpose a different kind of amplifier for that. But a lot of the stuff that you really want to do by yourself is available if you are a custom installer. The question then is, how do you become a custom installer? And the good part is that this is extremely easy. For example, WeBoost does have a custom installer program where all you have to do is go through their presentation, and as far as I understand it, there's no cost to that. And once you become a custom installer, you can buy that stuff through solidsignal.com or someone else, and you buy exactly what you need. You can buy installer level equipment that way. Of course, the installer level equipment is designed for larger installs, but that's really what we're talking about here, because if you were just trying to boost signal in a 2,000 square foot home, you'd probably be okay with the kit that they gave you. There is also, of course, the idea of actually hiring a custom installer, and I should probably stick in a plug here about the fact that Solid Signal has an installation network all over the country. And if you're interested in installation of not just cellular products, but antennas and satellite dishes, that Solid Signal can help you with that sort of thing if you're the kind of person who does not like going up on the roof. Bit of a spoiler here, I don't like going up on the roof, and I actually did it for a long time, so I don't want to do it again. I will if I have to. A custom installer is going to know the grounding ordinances in your area, so that make sure that everything is properly grounded. That person is also going to probably get the job done a little bit faster, but they're going to take away all the fun of you doing it yourself. What they trade for that, however, might be that wife acceptance factor of having somebody do it who has got a little bit more experience and therefore takes some of the blame away from you, our Solid Signal listeners. If you're really serious about actually becoming a custom installer, if you've decided to graduate from doing your own stuff into doing somebody else's stuff, the thing is that it is actually fairly easy to do. It doesn't require a contractor's license. It doesn't necessarily require any special licensing, but I would advise you to get the kind of training that you need. Over at solidsignal.com, we don't offer that kind of stuff, but we're happy to point you in the right direction. DirecTV has certification courses. All of the cell booster makers have certification courses. And while there really isn't a certification course for antennas, I think that that's a little bit simpler kind of thing anyway, so you really don't need that. All you really just need is a general understanding of how to hook stuff up and how to aim, and you'll be all set there. Folks, the economy is doing great, and I encourage any of you who have this sort of idea to go out and explore it. It's a perfect time, and hey, get what you need at solidsignal.com. Have a great week.